What movie ending is horribly depressing? Stand by me. Listening to narrator talk about how friends fade into obscurity and only memories remain becomes more relatable every time I watch it. Pay It Forward is a movie where Haley Joel Osment in his child acting phase is a miraculously nice and empathic child. He decides to do anything he can to improve the lives of three people: his alcoholic single mother, his teacher who has severe burn scars, and a homeless man. He helps his mom give up drinking and he helps his teacher find love by hooking up with the kid's mom. The homeless man gets cash, like all the money that an 11-year-old can put his hands on. The rule is that each person he helps needs to help 3 more people in turn, paying the kindness forward. The kindnesses multiply and the community starts to notice this kid. Things are really starting to improve and there's a really hopeful. The kid stands up to a bully and gets stabbed to death. The end. Edit: I was wrong about which person did it. Memento is a singular movie to me, where I thought it was brilliant and I never want to watch it ever again. The original ending to Clerks, Dante spends his day fucking up everything in his life, and by the end of the night, he seems to realize that he needs to make an attempt to unfuck everything. After Randall leaves, where the movie normally ends, a thief comes in the store and shoots Dante. Bridge to Terabithia. I saw that movie as a kid and rewatched it last year and again, I cried like a bitch. The original Matt is still fucked. Max has lost his wife and son. The last couple of shots are him just driving off with that 1,000-yard stare into the lawless outback. It's very understated, but it lets you know that he's not at all sated by having taken out Tocutter and his gang, and he becomes the shell of a man as described in the introduction of the sequel. The Land Before Us, a tragedy for those poor dino kids. Heck, that movie even reminds me of my dead pets. To top it off, the melancholic tone of If We Hold On Together by Diana Ross as its main theme. It gets me every time. Curious Case of Benjamin Button made me feel like of all the people he lost in his life, her crying and spending time with a child and baby with dementia. I think I was supposed to feel good, but I felt depressed and rugged when the credits rolled. End of Evangelion. All these traumatized and depressed kids are trying to prevent the apocalypse, and then it just happens anyway. The movie is fucking incredible, but super depressing in an existential way. Skeleton Key. Spoiler alert: the main character, a hot young blonde, gets her body swapped with an elderly woman and she basically becomes completely disabled in that old body as a result of the process. Turns out a couple use voodoo to systematically steal bodies whenever the current ones get old and leave the home to the new bodies, etc. They spend the movie tricking the girl to believe in voodoo so that the swap will work. The main character had been trying to understand and help. The whole movie was actually another dude she had been talking to who at his body swap, and thus was why he was also so severely disabled. Plaid, now trapped in old bodies and unable to basically move or talk, or being carted off to die, is some home, as the body swappers look on and enjoy their victory together in front of their new house. The alternate ending to Clerks, where Dante gets robbed, shot, and killed. The end credits roll with cash register sounds, which is inexplicably sad and creepy. Maybe you guys won't agree, but the Iron Giant. I don't care if he's still alive or it's for the greater good. It was so sad. There is a short film called The Snowman. It has no dialogue and is a cartoon. I guess it's a Christmas movie, but not really. The ending absolutely crushes me every time. No spoilers. The first time I saw it was in grade school and I remember trying to hide my face in my hands while I bawled my eyes out. Same effect now and I'm 38. Also, the song Walking in the Air is from that film, and it's a hauntingly beautiful song. Donnie Darko, that rendition of the song Mad World further makes the ending more depressing and full of dread. The Truman Show is depressing as hell when you think about the trust issues and paranoia he'll have for the rest of his life. Into the Wild. I went into this film blind. I had no idea of it being a true story. Thought it would be a survival against the odds. It was not. The big got away with it. They crashed the economy, made themselves rich, and fucked over everyone else. Edit: by they I don't mean the protagonists, I mean the banks. The banks got away with the bullshit they pulled. And sure, some people got fired, but the system overall, the system's still the same. They're just regulated now. Forrest Gump. I cry every single time I watch the scene where he visits Jenny's grave. Tom Hanks' talent is extraordinary. Dear Zachary, letter to a son about his sure if it counts, since it's actually a documentary, which makes it more depressing because it actually happened. Go into watching that movie knowing it's one of the final performances of Sir Patrick Stewart's Xavier and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Absolutely powerful, Oscar-worthy performances, probably better than everything in the MCU. It was hard to not have a certain attachment to these characters, having seen them played by the same people since 1999 because they were the living embodiment of their comic book counterparts. I don't know many who weren't bawling their eyes out by the Ward. Both confirmed that Logan would be the last time that they'd be playing their respective characters, long before Disney's acquisition of Fox and other Marvel properties like X-Men and Fantastic Four. Precious, great acting, compelling story. This is one of those movies I will only ever watch once because I can't go through that movie again. The Green Mile. I spent the whole movie hoping for the truth to come out and for him to be exonerated. Truth comes out and everyone that matters is supposed to do exactly that, and the poor fuck is just so tired and beaten down from all the hate and hurt in the world that he just wants to get it over with. Lines and damn well he's innocent, and they go ahead with the execution anyway, because this literal angel full of childlike love and innocence basically begs them to set him free from this mean-ass world. It's one of only a couple of movies that are both on my favorite movies of all time list and also on me can never ever watch it again list. Schindler's List. Heartbreaking because it's the truth. Liam Neeson should have won an Oscar. The guy who played Amon Goeth, he should have received an Oscar for that role also. They both got robbed. The part where he cries and says I could have got one more. I know he probably lived with all that guilt till the end of his days. Also, Passion of the Christ. I'm not even overly religious, but I cried nonstop from the moment they captured Jesus and when they've whipped him with the blades until the very end. I kept thinking to myself, why is nobody helping? Why are they letting this happen? I keep thinking to myself that I would have tried to help because that suffering. Oh God, I ugly cry. An unconventional 151st, you have someone in your life going through that same thing. It hits different. The time traveler's wife. A friend claimed it was a great chic fleek for our PJ party. We all threw our pillows at her when it was over. Life, with EDIT Rebecca Ferguson and Jake Gyllenhaal. It's rare you don't get a happy, or even gray ending in a big budget movie. I'll remember that last 5 minutes forever, and I haven't watched the film in years. AI spoilers, the main character and their surrogate mother from whom they will receive no warmth stuck at the bottom of the sea for 1,000 years. I can't watch that movie without crying. Russell doesn't have a dad to look up to. Carl is trying to complete he and his wife's childhood dream. Carl then meets his childhood hero who in turn tries to kill him. It's all around an emotional movie. Sophie's Choice. A movie you will only need to watch once and it'll stay with you forever. Especially if you're a parent.